I tell you one thing, man. I definitely feel more comfortable. And I felt that too. As the season went along. Obviously, we played in a lot of close games, and so I'm just looking forward to having an opportunity to make a bigger impact in year two. And but most importantly, man, I definitely feel more comfortable with the scheme, the system, my teammates as well.
And what's it like having a defensive-minded head coach? Is that a blessing? Or?
I think it's a real blessing. Obviously, it's a great responsibility because I think everything falls on us, as a defense, right? And I think we're going to win and lose a lot of games based on how we're able to play. So it's a great responsibility, but I think it's one that everybody on defense is looking forward to.
And as we spoke about earlier, you got plenty of great coaches. One of them, Matt House, seeing great success at LSU. Speak about that and what it's like seeing him succeed.
Well, I always knew Coach House would be a great coach. Obviously, we spent 3 years together, in Kansas City, and he was also one of those coaches that impacted me, on and off the field. So I always knew he wanted to go back to college, right? And I think his goal is to one day hopefully be a head coach in college, and I think he has all the tools and everything it takes to make that happen. But I think he's happy at LSU right now, and I think he's going to have a pretty good defense this year as well.
Right, he's a linebacker coach. He's got a great linebacker in his room, in Harold Perkins Jr., and he reminds a lot of people of you. What do you think about Harold Perkins and his ability to take over a game?
I mean, obviously, man, the kid is exciting. I think anytime you're able to find a defensive player that can play multiple positions and be an impact at all those positions, I think it's a no-brainer that you should try your best to build a defense, around that kind of player. So, like most Tiger fans, I'm excited to see, what he's going to do in year two. And, like I tell a lot of people, we got to savor the moment, right? Because, after his junior year, he'll be gone. So he's definitely an NFL, caliber player.
And year two's been special for LSU. Kim Mulkey gets the ring. Jay Johnson gets the ring. What about Brian Kelly year two? What do you think Tigers are going to be able to do in the football field?
I believe in him. Obviously, I think, they shocked a lot of people last year by, winning the SEC championship. And so, we look forward to, seeing what he's going to do this year. I think year two in his system, I think a lot of kids bought in last year, and I think this year will be even better. So, obviously the quarterback's coming back, Jaden Daniels. I think that's a big plus. And, I think they got a great wide receiver core as well. And, like I said, man, as long as you can play good defense, in the SEC or the NFL, you can win a few games.
Out of all the LSU players, any sport, basketball, baseball, football, what would be your top 5 best LSU athletes of all time? My top 5 LSU athletes of all time? I'm a little biased. I'd probably say number 1 would be Patrick Peterson. I think the reason I put him number 1 is not just because he's a great football player, but, obviously I had a chance to kind of be under his wing. And see what kind of person he is, kind of man he is, and like I say, he's really good at football too. I'll probably say number 2. I'm gonna have to go with Shaquille O'Neal. I think he was just really, really dominant. And it was a blessing for us to kind of get a talent like that, in basketball. Number 3, I probably have to go with Dylan Cruz. I think the year that he's put together, not just this year, but even him not, going into the MLB draft and then coming back to school for another year, and then to see all that success kind of come with that decision. So I'll probably say he's number 3. Number 4, I have to go Joe Burrow because it's like, and he would probably be number 1, but I'll put him 4. I mean, what he did at LSU was just, speechless, at times. I think he threw like 7, 8 touchdowns in one game. So it's like not many people, able to do that. And then number 5, I'm going to go with Chad Jones, which is probably like a shocker. But I think anybody that comes to LSU and plays both sports and wins a championship in football and baseball, you can't leave him out of your top 5. So, and he was one of the best athletes I've ever seen, in person. So I'll probably say that's my top 5. What does it feel like to be able to give back to your community here in New Orleans?
It's a great feeling, you know what I mean? I think on a personal level, it's a great responsibility. And so, I just try to do my part and, being present with the kids and trying my best to, not just the kids, but to affect, the whole community as a whole. So we got a lot of different events we do as far as my foundation goes, but obviously I'm a football player, and anytime we get to play football, it's always one of my favorite things to do. So happy to be here today.
Of course, Tyrann, Long time no see. We saw you yesterday. I got to ask you first things first. How sore did you pull up at today after playing with the kids all day?
Nah, man. Actually, man, I think I'm in good shape right now. So I'm getting ready for training camp. So I think I'm right on time, man. But, obviously, man, I got 3 kids of my own, right? So I think taking on 300 kids at a time, I mean, that could stress you out a little bit. But, nevertheless, man, I had a blast yesterday.
What was the feedback from the kids after the camp?
Man, it was ecstatic, man. I think most of those kids were just happy to see me. Obviously, a lot of them, wanted me to cover them, right, guard them. I let a few of them catch a few balls on me, but obviously it's not Sunday, so it doesn't necessarily count. But I think to see these kids smile, man, and come out here and have a good time, and like I said, to just do things that they don't necessarily get a chance to do, in their neighborhoods.
What do people need to know about the Tyrann Mathieu Foundation that maybe they're not aware of?
Well, I think the most important thing is, we try to cover a lot of different bases. I think the biggest base to cover is, how can we impact these kids? How can we inspire them to not only be great at what they want to do, but to be great people as well. So, I'm hoping and praying that, by the end of this thing, man, that those kids see that.
We go back to your career at LSU, St. Aug, even before. How did football camps help prepare you for a career in the pros?
Well, I think, beyond football camps, I think it's the people, right? Coaches, teachers, the people that were a part of the camps, people that were instructing camps, people that coach you, people that teach you. I think those people are the real heroes, right? Because, I think way back to my park ball coaches and, some of my coaches at St. Aug and, even LSU, these were some of the people that really inspired me to, not like I said, not just be a great football player, but try my best to be a great teammate too. So, I'm hoping that I can rub a little bit of that off, with the kids today.
You got a lot of other instructors out there. I see a couple of other Saints out there as well. Can you tell me who you got helping you today?
Well, I think, one of the guys that's here today is Alante Taylor. Obviously, I think a lot of Saints fans know him. He had a pretty good rookie season last year, and so I think we're all excited to see, what he's going to do in year 2. And but beyond him, man, all of these kids out here, all these coaches out here that's helping us, I think they all can play a part today.
I saw Delvin Bro earlier. He looks like he could still go.
Oh, yeah, I know he can still go, man. Me and Delvin actually, we grew up with each other. So, he was always one of those freakishly, talented players. Obviously, he had a rough injury to kind of get over. But, I think anytime he puts those cleats on, man, he can still get it done.
Now, I asked you yesterday who you would take tonight first in the Major League Baseball draft. You said Paul Skeens. You've had a night to think about it. You've had 24 hours. Talk to me. Do you still stand by that? And if so, why?
And I'll tell you this, man. Obviously, I'm a proud Tiger. I think a lot of Tiger fans wanted me to say Cruz, right? Obviously, man, he's won a lot of different awards, and I think he's more than worthy of going number 1. But I think I stand by my decision. Like, if you can get a great pitcher, or a great quarterback, or a great point guard, you could win those important games. So I'm gonna stay true to my decision. The rest is yet to be, told.